NitroRCX.com. Extreme has no limits.
Hey guys, welcome to NitroRCX.com. Today we're looking at a new Team Energy product, and it is the R8MT monster truck. We're going to give you guys the lowdown, what it comes with out the box, cover some of the main product features, and hopefully give you guys a better idea of what this truck is all about. So the Team Energy R8MT is a monster truck. Monster truck, it's got a pickup truck body styling, beautiful body, polycarbonate, so nice and durable. It is pre-painted from the factory, and this is the color scheme that's offered. You do have a supercharger unit on the front. It is just for looks, for show, and if you want to mount something else on there or have a little bit of a cooling effect, you can remove it. It does require you to install it with 3 screws when you pull it out of the box, and you can remove it easily with just 3 screws. Living up to its monster truck name, it does have very large diameter tires, something you would see actually in, say, a 1/7 scale or maybe even a 1/5 scale. Large tires, but notice the tires are actually low profile. What that's going to do is it's going to give you more responsive handling, better handling, instead of those big balloony tires where it makes you flip over when you're doing hard cornering. Now notice the center of that wheel, right behind it, that is a 17mm hex, meaning you can use 1/8 scale wheels and tires from pretty much many of the manufacturers out there. It does coincide with the 1/8 scale sizing. Let's talk about what comes out of the box. This is a ready to run truck, meaning you pull it out the box, it's ready to run. You get a GT3X 2.4 GHz radio, awesome radio. We've covered it many times and we stick with it because, well, it's easy to use and battery efficient and just an all-around great radio. For more details on that, we do have a link below. Check that out for all the details on the radio. It takes 4 AA batteries on the bottom here. Very simple to use and very user intuitive. Once you pop the cover off, you're greeted with lots of aluminum parts. Look at all that thick anodizing, thick aluminum. I'm not going to bore you too much with the detailed specifications, so I'll cover just the key features, what it comes with, the upgrades that it comes with, and the what's adjustable, what's not adjustable, and we'll get that out of the way. You have adjustable coil-over shocks, front and rear. These are oil-filled, so you can fill them with different oils to change the handling characteristics. You have threaded adjustable collars so that you can turn them up and down to change preload. You can stiffen up and loosen the spring. You have multiple adjustable positions on the shock towers. That's front and rear. Now let's move on to the steering hub. Notice those are aluminum steering hubs. So while you're doing high-speed runs, high-speed cornering, you won't get a lot of flex and you get precise steering. Speaking of steering, you do have adjustable turnbuckles, so you can adjust toe in and toe out. From the adjustables, leading on to the adjustable servo saver. Notice that blue collar there, you can adjust the servo saver tightness, so you can tighten it or loosen it to adjust how much that spring tension is taking up that force. Notice the metal steering servo so that it is nice and strong. This is a monster truck, so you will be doing some aggressive driving over rough terrain. Now, doing all the steering work is a high torque steering servo from Team Energy. Awesome steering servo, metal gears inside, and quite responsive. Not exactly super fast, but you do trade some of that speed for high torque and high holding capability. Let's continue on with the electronics. You get a 100 amp programmable brushless speed controller. It is programmable just like other Team Energy ESCs through the on-off switch. Notice the programmable button right there. From the ESC, we move on to the 2400 kV high torque 540L motor. Notice that motor inside this aluminum finned heatsink, and on the top you'll see 4 holes for an optional cooling fan. I mentioned the 7.4 volt Team Energy 4000 milliamp hour batteries. You get both of them running in series at 14.8 volts. So moving on from the power system, let's cover the drivetrain. Very robust drivetrain. You have treated metal everywhere throughout the vehicle. On the front of the vehicle, you have constant velocity joints to keep that axle angle consistent so that it doesn't pop out. You're going to have less dog bone issues with a constant velocity joint. Notice that aluminum steering hub mentioned in the front, and there are no bushings on this truck. Everything has ball bearings, which increases efficiency, which in turn gives you longer run times and faster speeds. Moving on to the back, we have traditional dog bone style axles. And to handle rotational differences, you have a metal gear diff in the rear, a metal gear diff in the center to transfer power front and rear, and you also have a metal gear diff in the front. These are oil filled, so you can change the oil or choose a different grease to change power front to rear. Notice the spur and pinion gear is heat treated steel, and you can also see lightweight cutouts on that center spur gear. You also have the roll center adjustment front and rear. Notice the turnbuckles here. These turnbuckles are also adjustable, which in turn allows you to adjust camber. These ones, as mentioned before, are the tie rods, which allows you to adjust toe in the front. In the rear, you can also adjust your camber, same turnbuckles that are adjustable, and you can also adjust the roll center as well. Another adjustable feature is the ride height front and rear. Notice there's these grub screws on the arms, and you can turn those in and out to adjust ride height or adjust squat, how much that suspension will droop or how much that suspension will contract as it's sitting static. Notice that very large front bumper there. You have kind of a absorption ring right here that compresses and flexes to take that force when you hit something, say a curb or a wall. Now notice the arms, they are a little bit different than your traditional arms. All the holes and the lightweight cutouts are sort of filled in to give those arms more strength. On the front you have these shock guards, so if you're running through rough terrain like twigs or branches, a lot of times they get stuck here and tear your shock boot, so they put some protection up front so that it diverts those branches away so it doesn't tear your shock boots. On the side here we have kind of a battery protection if you roll, or if another car or truck hits you from the side. You kind of have motor and electronic protection, and it doubles as a carry handle too as well. And to finish it off, we'll cover the chassis. Notice that very thick top plate right there, along with chassis braces throughout, so that you don't see a lot of flex on this system. Very thick aluminum plate on top, and the whole entire bottom of this truck is a thick aluminum chassis. And do notice that the bolts on the crucial areas, such as the motor mount, the diffs, front and rear, all the important tie downs are grade 12.9 bolts, because those are going to be the bolts you're working on the most when you're doing maintenance and high torque. You definitely don't want to be stripping out bolts. Everyone knows it's frustrating. Team Energy's hooking you up with 12.9 grade bolts. Overall length from bumper to bumper, you're looking at about 23.5 inches. We'll call it 24 inches overall length. Wheelbase from center to center of the wheel, hub to hub, we're looking at about 15.5 inches. We'll call it 15.5. And let's just give you guys a quick track width on this R8MT. Let's go center to center of each wheel, and that's about 16 inches. So a fairly big truck if you compare it to other vehicles. I like big trucks. They go over lots of terrain, and in this case, bigger is better. Okay guys, that is the quick look of the Team Energy R8MT monster truck. Now guys, we do consider it as an intermediate truck, so if you are a beginner, you want to note that it is a larger truck. It does have some weight to it, and it's quite powerful compared to some of the other trucks out there. So you want to be mindful if you are a beginner, it can be dangerous due to its size and power. With that out of the way, it's a great truck, lots of features. If you have some questions or maybe feel like something I left out, definitely leave that below and we'll answer it. Stay tuned for more videos of us definitely giving this a test, taking it out for a run, and showing you guys what it's all about. Stay tuned for more awesome videos on nitrorcx.com, and we'll catch you guys in the next one.
nitrorcx.com. Extreme has no limits.